Hello and welcome to Tabletop 24. I'm Alan.
I'm John.
And I'm Brian.
And we're here to just wrap up our trip to Airecon recently. So that was the 11th to the 13th of March. And what a convention.
Very good.
It was our first time.
Yeah.
We really enjoyed it. Having been to the likes of UKGE before and some of the smaller conventions around, it was a bit of a change of pace, I think. But not in a bad way. I think it was quite good. It's very much focused on playing games, being with community. There's a lot of people I think we saw playing with people that only just met that weekend.
Yeah. Lots of flags up saying players wanted, people getting involved playing other games. Lots of people when we were playing stopping by saying, "What are you playing?" "Oh, we've played that." Talking. It was really friendly, nice time, to be honest with you.
Yeah, very, very chill.
Yeah, relaxed. It was really. There's the initial crush of any convention when everybody's just getting in through the door, but I think after that, as soon as people found their tables for the day, that was them. I mean, I know it was us. Yeah. We stuck up in a chair and that was it for pretty much each day. And yeah, it was nice to see some of the community. There was a lot of people that I'd seen from different events that I'd bumped into, so which was good. And we see a lot of local players actually that made the trip up from the Midlands. Yeah. So that was nice to catch up with them.
I mean, for me, UKGE, seating space is at a premium. So if you can find somewhere to perch or a table that you can play at, you tend to grab it and stay there. But what was nice about Airecon was there was so much playing space and so many tables. It didn't feel like you were precious to stay in one spot, and you could move around and go to different things and do different spaces, which was lovely. And the video, which you can cut in now, of midnight that I took when we were leaving of the hall 3 and 4 was incredible. The amount of people that were in there.
It was. It was,
as you can see from the video now.
He's only saying that because I've got to edit this.
Yeah.
So no, it was, and he's focused on a lot of playing. And the halls are open for a long time. I think you can start getting from 9:30 most days. And I think the main hall closed upstairs at 1:30.
1:30, yeah.
Is it? Yeah. Unfortunately, we decided to knock it on the head on the Saturday night for that. Yeah.
There were some Polish lads I was talking to who said they wanted it to go all night, which would have been crazy. But then I thought a game of Camel Up at 4:30 in the morning between loads of strangers would have been a hell of a thing to observe.
Very good.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, we're not called Tabletop 24 for no reason.
No, true.
That is true.
That's where it started. So just to sort of round up with some of the exhibitors that we caught up with. So if you haven't done so already, there are some of the videos on the channel with these specific exhibitors. So start off with was a bit of an impromptu catch up with Cogito about Solo 175, which is, I believe, by the time we get this out, might still be live on Kickstarter. We caught up with Maddie and Joe there, and actually I backed it straight after the conversation with them. It's a fantastic looking legacy-esque Euro game. So in there you are changing the board state, changing some of the cards. You're never destroying any of the components. You're consistently updating things and moving them along the campaign. And I think they said you could probably have a campaign that'll last you between 20 and 60 hours, but there's another 40 odd hours behind that of continued gameplay. And other people's games might not be the same, and they add some a bit extra to that. We also saw their Gonza Index, which is a sort of a world-building type game to add to the thematic feel of Solo 175, but set on the stock exchange. And really encourage you, if you haven't, check out Cogito. And on YouTube, they do have how to design a board game series, which they've been focusing on the Gonza Index and how they brought that to life.
Links are down below.
Yeah, which are actually really useful. Again, he's only saying that because I've got to edit it and put it in afterwards. So, and I think, Brian, we were catching up just beforehand.
Yeah, I'm going to be going on that as well. Really exciting, actually. So I've only got a couple of days left, but I'm definitely going to... that game I quite like, actually. So
yeah, Euro space.
Little minutes. Yeah, well,
voting. Yeah, and a lot of theme. Yeah. And I did manage to see the magazine that they had there, which, if you haven't been familiar with, it's essentially a brochure magazine type thing that is set
in-game. It's an in-game. It's the whole
artifact. I think is the word that Maddie used. Yeah.
So the immersion of the whole thing is really going to be quite exciting. Take the Gonza Index game. It's an immersive game. It's based on the game artifacts.
Yeah, well. It's a filler game, but it's to get you in the mood to play more, and a lot about the world building that they're doing in that. And I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see something else in future, given the amount of effort they've gone to in this world. That's not to say that Solar 175 isn't going to have a lot to play on it by the looks of it.
Yeah.
So, following on from that, I did catch up with Mark from Radical 8 Games with their new game, The Mask, which is coming to GameFound, I believe, late in April. And that is essentially a sort of abstract-esque resource management set collection style game. There's a lot that goes on in that game where you'll be collecting the masks and putting them through, collecting cubes to actually add to your loom and printing and sewing and creating the damasks and essentially trying to beat the other players with the scoring that you get from those. And I know, John, you like the look of that.
I like the look of that. Kind of an Azul feel to it, but with a dial which is a bit Zolkin-esque.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, look very good. I'm going to take a look at the Kickstarter for that and probably back that. So
yeah, and then the amount
intrigued me.
The amount of resources you take determines how far round the dial goes, and that then essentially enhances the round quicker.
Yeah.
So the more you take, the quicker the game's going to end. But the more you take, you're going to be left with stuff you might not be able to actually use. So it's a bit of a balancing out there. Yeah. So that's really, really
nice looking game.
Yeah, and we're hoping to get a bit of a preview copy on that if Mark can hook us up. So, and we'll be letting you know when that campaign goes live as well.
Links down below.
Next up, we caught up with Bez, Stuff by Bez, which they kindly gave us 2 copies of. And I'm going to get this right. A game about quickly grabbing creatures that are totally different and counting more beetroots or turnips. And that has just funded on Kickstarter. The reason why we've got 2 is it's a party game, and each pack plays between 1 and 3. So this is enough for 6 players, so it's really good there. And the artwork's great in that. If you haven't done so already, check out our semi-unboxing of this that'll be coming out as well. So that was really nice of them to provide us with those copies. And some of the artwork they do is really unique, and the games are slightly different. We were talking, again, if you haven't caught that, discussion about the emotions in games, and actually doing something a little bit different and challenging the thought process in the gaming space. So that was great there. Next up was Medusa Games. So 9 Worlds was the game that we discussed there. It's the expansion for these creatures and monsters. So I caught up with Richard Denning, and for those that you don't know, who is also co-director of UKG as well. So we caught up a bit about the upcoming expo there. So I encourage you to check that out. And I did pick up 9 Worlds from Medusa whilst I was there. We're going to try and get this played as soon as possible.
Ooh.
And
Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday. And hopefully we'll play again out for that.
Yeah.
So watch there for that. Then finally we caught up with Ellie from the Dark Imp. So Ellie's got a very unique sort of campaign that's just funded on Kickstarter. And I think, Brian,
I went it. Yeah, I got it. So I'm going to get my copy at some point. Yeah, it looks really good.
Games on a greeting card. And essentially they're sort of cards that have a whole game built into them. Some of them are reusable, some of them are legacy style.
Yeah.
So that's a really sort of unique game, and really encourage people to check that out. And the stuff that Eddie puts out is really, really quite nice. The Dark Imp's really, really quite nice.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So I think I touched on it briefly. There are a few games here that you'll have seen in our previous Airecon preview. And we asked the question, how many would we play? And the answer...
How many was there to start with?
There was 11, and then there was 2 extra that made it into the bag.
Comments down below.
And we managed to play 2. The 2 we did play were Lords of Vegas and Smartphoning. They weren't the only games we played over the weekend. There was a lot more, and we'll get onto that in a bit. But they were the main ones that I had on the video preview last time. And I think Smartphone was quite pleasantly received.
Yeah, it's a really good game.
It is a lot.
Yeah. So
a lot lighter than I thought it was going to be to begin with. Yeah. I thought, but yeah, a nice game to play. Nice to look at. Some good decision making points in it. Chance to screw people over to some extent by limiting what they can do by setting your price point. But yeah, nice game.
Yeah, we'll not give too much more away in case we do a wood play again of that at some point. Mm-hmm. And then obviously we won't also give too much away on Lords of Vegas because we've played it a couple of times now, and it's always a bit of a laugh. And I think that was the late Saturday night game, wasn't it? Late Saturday night. I think we finished about 10:30. So because somebody wanted to get
to get a takeaway.
Yeah,
who's that?
Who's that? So we only managed to get those two out, but wasn't the only games we played. The one that is missing here was actually a bit of a standout for the show for us, was Arboretum.
Yeah, picked up on a whim. It was on the Ukrainian charity table for I think it was a tenner, so I picked it up. I'd seen it mentioned in places, and I'm a fan of small card games that are thinky, play, and it just fits that niche really well. It's just a lovely game, lovely artwork. Took me 3 goes to actually score any points, but hey.
It was a couple of things, and I think John's got this on a t-shirt. We've been playing this wrong, whereby we just needed to settle into it, and now it's quite nice.
It is a lovely little game, well worth picking up. Nice little small box.
And when we get Brian in on that, we'll obviously come back and we'll play again on that. Yeah. And this was my purchase, well, one of my purchases, and we'll get on to purchase in a sec. But this was my purchase, and John's got the crew mission to Planet 9, which we played quite a bit, and we've got about over halfway through the missions that are in there. And I wanted a copy, but when they brought out the second, the crew with Mission Deep Sea, I thought, do you know what? I'll get that one instead. A little bit different, a little bit more variety.
Different enough to make it worthwhile picking up both. If you've got the other one.
Yeah. And so we picked that up, and I think managed to get through about 20 games of it.
20 games.
Over the weekend. And it's a couple of minutes a game. I mean, it does say in the back, playtime 20 minutes. I wouldn't even say that. 20 minutes is proper full setup, tear down and everything like that. So,
but Sunday afternoon, we were just stuck on one of the missions, and we were sitting there, and we played it about 5 times, and it was just like, should we call it? And we're like,
let's just go home. It's been a long weekend.
Let's go. I think we all have mental block by that time.
Yeah. And one of the other purchases for me over the weekend, and hopefully you'll catch the unboxing of this, is something I've been trying to get my hands on for quite a while, is the Lost Ruins of Arnak expansion, Expedition Leaders. It went out of stock in a lot of places very soon after it came out, much like the base game, which I believe is up here. Everything is now tidily away in that one box, and there isn't too much space left, but really looking forward to getting that out and giving it a go. I think have you both played the expansion?
Yeah. I've not played the expansion. I've played the base game a few times.
Yeah,
Did you not play with Martin at the club? Me, you and Martin played it with the expansion.
Right. Yes,
I've played that. Memorable. Yeah. I didn't. I unfortunately missed that session. So for me, it was an automatic buy because of the quality of the base game, and hopefully it's going to add enough to it.
It does add enough to it to make it different. I mean, there's always a question about what does an expansion bring to a game, but that brings enough to change it and add in it every time you play it.
Yeah. So hopefully, I'm looking forward to getting that out at some point soon and trying to explore what that holds. Purchases for everybody else. Brian, you picked up quite a few, didn't you?
I did pick up quite a few. Main things, I picked up a couple of games that I've played a few times. So I think Ticket to Ride, which I've played a few times, but I haven't had my own copy. New ones, I picked up Great Zimbabwe, which is a really interesting looking game. I've opened it but not played it yet. Based on I guess medieval Zimbabwe, like kings and things, kingdoms. I picked up Charterstone, which is a legacy game, Stegmaier Games. It was opened but not played, so looking forward to playing that. And then got a couple of Oink games.
Can't beat an Oink game.
No, we do like the Oink games.
And Vikings as well.
Yes.
Which we played that.
Yeah, looking forward to playing that, actually.
Love that.
Yeah, looking forward to playing that.
Yeah. Was there anything else you picked up?
So I picked up Orleans.
Yes.
Orleans.
Yeah, cracking game. Played it. Yeah, it's just a lovely game. It hits that classic bracket. It's just fantastic. Already pimping it. Starfarers of Catan. I love Catan, and I've read lots of things about this, and it seems to be like a really good version. So I mean,
I was really disappointed that we didn't play it actually, because came back on the next day.
It's got some giant rockets.
It's so big that you just didn't want to carry it.
It looks fantastic. It looks really, really good. I can't wait to play it. Arboretum I picked up, and what was? I can't think there was another game.
We got the Ticket to Ride.
Let's play Pink.
Pink.
Yeah, let's play Pink.
So
Keyflower.
That was it. Yeah.
Keyflower.
Yeah.
Which again, I played a couple of times and just like it. Saw it in the Bring and Buy. at a bargain price. So I mean,
the Bring and Buy was really good.
Yeah, let's go on to the Bring and Buy. So I think we all, we all sort of participated in it.
Yeah, bought some games, bought more games.
I managed to sell all my games by the end of the first day.
Yeah,
so I was very happy.
Yeah, and then went and bought the exact same,
and then spent all that money on. More
I didn't bring any money home.
Yeah.
The thing is, I sold 9 games and bought 4.
Yeah.
So, and these are games that I've wanted and games that would sit on my shelf and weren't doing anything. So it's a good trade, and some of it goes to charity. This was 25 quid. Okay, I'll take 20, put £5 in the charity pot. I was doing things like that just to, because it was that kind of event. Everybody was helping everybody. The big Ukraine table, there were some absolute bargains that people just picked on themselves.
Yeah. So with the Games for Ukraine table, it was everybody donating games, and it was a pay what you feel reasonable. Yeah. And all of that went to charity. And, just to touch on the charity aspect of it, I think, and I'll get these figures completely wrong. So there might well be
£1 million.
There might well be a box that pops up above my head now that says the right.
Not
figures,
£1 million.
I think it was about £5,000 they raised for Games for Ukraine, and I almost think 8,000 they raised for the 2 charities that Airecon supports. So I'll pop all the details of that actually in the description below, so that you've actually got the exact figures. But they did a fantastic amount for charity, and the volunteers and everybody that were there were really good.
It was good to see everybody getting involved in that as well. It wasn't just a little table with a few things. It was overflowing with stuff. It really was.
There was so much.
It was absolutely crazy. I bought a copy of Code Words and left it in our Airbnb for the people to keep and for people to turn up. Yeah. People wanted to contribute. It was really nice to see. It really was nice to see.
Yeah, and then some of the stuff that didn't go, I think there might have been some games left over, so they've taken those to sort of second-hand game shops to shift on as well. So there'll be more going into that. So check out anything you can in regards to that. But the Bring and Buy itself was good. It was very well managed.
Very well organised.
The game system that they have running, that's the acronym, I think is in there somewhere, where you check the games in before you go. You go and get your stickers to put on the boxes. You put them on the boxes, and then off you trot, and you can at any time check out whether you've sold, what you sold.
They're low-tack stickers as well, so they don't damage the box when you take them off.
So you can also check, what's that? Is that, that's in the Bring and Buy. And you could check what was there. It was really good. And that was the thing with Keyflower. I was just like, I know it's in there. There's one copy of it. All the shells. I just walked in and went, I'll have that. It was just right in front of me. And Star Bearers of Catan. I'll have that as well. It was just,
The main limitation for the Bring and Buy was use cash to buy them. The reason for that was they've got to be able to pay people.
Refunds and stuff would have been a pain.
Which normally would be fine. Obviously, past 2 years of pandemic lockdown, people aren't used to carrying cash anymore as much. So that might caught some people out.
I think he did. There was a couple of people when we went back through towards the end that were like, you don't take cash. Which, like I say, completely understand the reason why it makes sense.
So luckily I sold my games first and then used that money to buy more games. So... And it was great. And then if you didn't sell, I know there was a couple that me and Brian didn't sell that we then went back and collected, and that process couldn't have been easier. That was really simple. The hardest bit was actually finding them again on the shelves, because there's so many games there. You go back a couple of times.
And then obviously with the game system, it also incorporates the board game library, which was provided by Travelling Man, I believe. And that was...
I loved the library. I got Rainbow Rally out of the library, which I'd heard about, never played before. We had such a laugh.
That was so funny. There were lots of people stopping by as we were playing that. I basically span around on the spot for 40 minutes, I think.
And then I
experienced that.
I bought it. So that's going to come next week. So I'm really looking forward to having that.
Yeah. There was lots of stuff in the library. I think the one bit that made me chuckle is I've been trying to try out Isle of Cats, which is from City of Games. I think there's a lot of people that have enjoyed that. The all-in bundles are just starting to arrive with people now, and I was in an hour and about it at the show, and I was like, no, I want to play the game first and see what it was actually like, and actually the whole weekend it wasn't available, and just as we were queuing up to leave, and I think we were handing back something back, and it was like, oh, there it is sitting on the shelf. So that was a bit of a disappointment, but at the same time, there was enough games in that shelf that we were sport for choice.
Yeah,
So
no.
Friday night
Yeah.
we went in, and it was a case there was me, John, and Ben standing there going, "What do we want?"
And then they were good games as well. They weren't.
Yeah.
I think we were being too polite though. What should we play? Well, knowing that we all don't like certain genres, it was like,
What do we?
yeah. And I mean, even we did pick one and we played, and I bailed because it wasn't my thing. But that,
Yeah, we picked up Ashes Reborn, which is one that I've been wanting to try out. And with all the LCGs that I have had, I wanted to give it a go, and I enjoyed it. But I'm glad I got to play it before.
yeah, and that's the benefit of the library,
Yeah.
And I believe it's actually all run at no cost, no benefit. So you put your £10 deposit in, and you get your £10 deposit out.
Yeah.
So it's a sort of just a feature of the show. So it's a great feature.
I'd have loved to play Dial of Cats.
Yeah, so I think I might be making another purchase. so the library was fantastic, and touching on the charity bit again was the charity raffle, which they actually ran out of raffle tickets. I thought it was queuing up.
Literally the end of the queue, and then Alan with his money going, no tickets.
But luckily they managed to go and get some more raffle books.
They bought some more raffle books and sold some more tickets.
Didn't win
Yeah,
anything.
no, we didn't win anything, unfortunately, and it's a really different way of doing the raffle. That you essentially have, I think it was 8 tables in the room, and each table had a bucket in front of it. You took your tickets, ripped them up, and put them in the bucket where you wanted to essentially win, and then they draw one ticket out, and that person wins everything on that table, which is quite a lot for somebody to take back with them. And it was good. There were some really good prizes donated by the industry.
Yeah,
which is
the
great.
tables were packed. It was absolutely fantastic. But again, people wanted to contribute to it and make it worthwhile. It was good.
Yeah, and it would be something that I'd want to partake in again. And I think it's very well received, and I think everybody that went there enjoyed the raffle experience. British public love a good raffle, don't we? So so that was the only event I got to. And I think, other than you,
I saw
get to any.
The guys record the top 10 games.
Yeah, from Watch It Play.
From Watch It Played, which was good. Good to see. Very funny people, great panel. Chuckled all the way through it. It was a good experience watching them, actually.
Yeah.
See how the pros do it.
Yeah. And that's probably one of my regrets from the weekend. I didn't get along to any of the events. We were going to go to the pub quiz and we missed that.
Yeah, I wish you'd put my name down for playing a game with Matthew Jude. I really do. But no, those people. I spoke to Rodney and Chaz and other people there, and there was some of the shut up and sit down people wandering about, and they're all approachable. People are chatting to them. There's no problem. It's really nice to see that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You see people behind the camera. Don't talk to me if you see me. No, it's not.
It's a big teddy bear.
I wouldn't talk to him in the same but
I'm here under duress. No, it was lovely to see, actually. And the events are worth it if you get a chance to go to them. The panels and stuff are good. So maybe next time, more of that. And that's the beauty of it. There's so much going on. You don't just have to either shop, you don't have to play. There's other things to go on, and Harrogate's a lovely place as well if you want to.
Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, I've not been there before, so.
No, I haven't been. It's a lovely little town, isn't it? There's a lot going on in there. Quite a nice few shops. There was a game shop in the other town that we visited, which was reasonably well stocked, and they were running an offer for Airecon attendees, which was really, really well appreciated. And I think Harrogate itself was great.
Yeah.
So onto the facilities of the venue itself.
Food was good.
Yeah, food was good.
Food was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't fault it. It was big enough.
It was,
It was. I mean, again, the video that was put on earlier about the midnight when you could see how big it was upstairs, but there was that space downstairs as well, which was full during the day. So there's plenty of board games.
it was well staffed. It's clean. It was tidy. It was warm.
Food was good. Plenty of snacks, tea, mug.
Yeah, so the tuck shop, that was fantastic. So it's run by Airecon volunteers, and it's reasonably priced snacks in the shape of chocolate bars, crisps, cans of drink, and also the merchandise from the event.
I bought the last fruit.
It's fruit as well. I mean,
crisps, chocolate, fruit.
Yeah. So, and you'll see obviously the Airecon mug. So you could purchase the Airecon mug, which was fantastic beforehand.
You got your money off every subsequent cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
you know,
So that you make
Right.
sure you got your money's worth from that, which was it's a really really nice thing. The only thing I probably would say is maybe a travel mug. Walking back across the game floor with a full mug could have been a bit disastrous.
Yeah, true.
that's a fair point.
So, but it was great. The facilities were fantastic, and the food outside. And just a point, I was talking to Terence, who I play games with down in Manuscree, and he's vegan, and he said I think all but one or all but two of the fooderies actually offered at least one vegan option, and they're all good options.
Yeah.
So that just shows
The souvlaki shop, they were running out of the vegan sort of souvlakis because it was so popular.
There you go.
Yeah. So that was the food was fantastic. So there is one thing that I haven't picked up, and I remember whilst we were running through this. Obviously, I got to meet the great Harcon from fame of Streets, Villagers, and soon to be Moon. So that was really, really good. He was really up for a chat, and hopefully we'll be seeing more of Moon in the future. So, and that was fantastic to catch up with him and appreciate the time that he spent with us. So I think that's about wraps us up, doesn't it?
Yep.
Great convention.
Would go again.
Would go again.
We'll go again. I'm going again.
With that in mind, we've already started our plan for 2023. So that's March 10th to 12th next year in the exact same venue.
It's booking up far.
Yeah.
So, and I think they're already looking at extra space for the event. So trying to extend into some of the halls, because I think whilst it wasn't overcrowded at any point, I do think that next year will be.
It wouldn't take
bigger.
much for it to be.
Yeah, table space was at a premium.
Yeah.
It was
peak times.
peak
times. Yeah.
Saturday we watched it fill up, and it was buzzing. It was really it was good.
I must admit, I did feel like it was a proper British tourist on holiday on Saturday. Get your board game back on the table.
Towels out.
Towels out.
Yeah. And the thing and by those peak times, you were shuffling around in a big crowd trying to go through on the shelves.
Yeah, there was a queue.
Yeah. And I also think that there was a big piece about sort of COVID still relevant.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a lot of people that may not have attended because of it.
Yeah.
And I think, as I said to Richard when we caught up with him about UKGE, is potentially Airecon is a fire test for this very much, and see how that goes for a much bigger event. And it sort of gives confidence to people about these type of events that are going on. And
plenty of masks, plenty of hand sanitizing. People are being sensible.
So like I say, we're going to go again.
Yeah,
we're going to go again.
And hopefully we'll get even more coverage next time. So this was our first proper event coverage.
Yeah.
So hopefully
we'll see you there. Remember, no eye contact.
Practice with that gimbal.
Yes, practice with the gimbal. Make sure we're getting the video covered. So Ben's found his forte in life as a cameraman, unfortunately. So, but no, he's been great. So thanks to everybody that caught up with us. Thanks to these guys for making it such a great weekend.
It was.
And like, if you haven't done so already, I've known I've mentioned it a few times throughout. Catch up with all of our interviews with the exhibitors and all of the games that we picked up there.
Links below.
Yeah. If you haven't done so already, check out all those videos, and we will catch you next time. Take care.
Cheers.
Bye for now.